Okay, you breathe 20,000 times per day. So if you are someone with a flared rib cage, then your ribs and pelvis are not aligned. And when that happens, you have less intra-abdominal pressure, and you may start to get some back pain issues because you're breathing insufficiently all day long. That would be the first thing I would tell people to do, is inhale through your nose, but not so I can hear you. So it should be, and I shouldn't be lifting my chest when I inhale. When I inhale, it should be a soft inhale. You shouldn't hear anything. My tongue should be behind the back of my top, like at the top of my teeth, at the palate. Inhale 360, exhale out through the nose, and then keep exhaling everything out. Exhale longer than your inhale. Breathing is always going to be the number one thing that you can start focusing on, is just making sure that your diaphragm moves all the way down. A lot of people, when they inhale, they do a short inhale and then a short exhale. And so if you're breathing in this pattern or right in here, you're kind of like a chest breather, which will mess up your posture and make things a little bit tighter in your shoulders. So like, you do want to have really good breathing first. You want to do self-myofascial release or foam rolling before your workout, followed by stretching, motor control, dynamic stretching exercises. Then you do your power, and then your strength training, in that order, and then your conditioning. But it's really important to do your mobility and stretching before you work out. I don't do my stretching after my workout. I don't do my foam rolling after my workout. I do that before the workout to get the muscles prepared for the training that's about to happen. I go very progressive, through from foam rolling, static stretching, dynamic stretching, all the way to power, strength, and conditioning. And that's how all my workouts look. And so just adding that mobility at the beginning of every workout. Let's just say I get 20 to 30 minutes of mobility and like 20 or 30 minutes of strength training. That's fine. If it takes me that long to warm up, that means I really need that self-myofascial release. I really need that stretch. Otherwise, you're just going to make your muscles more tight than they, before they were able to get a chance to loosen up. So stretching and consistent foam rolling, the consistency is what matters. So if you're not stretching 3 times a week, and if you're not foam rolling 3 times a week, and if you're not doing the activation motor control exercises 3 times a week before your training, then you're not going to get the improvements that you want. So you really have to make those changes in your actual training program first. And then sometimes it has to do with people's shoes. That can throw posture off. So making sure you got the right shoes, you're not supinated on one leg or pronated on one leg, that you're trying to even out your asymmetries, that type of thing. Understanding asymmetry is a huge thing nowadays. Like, people don't understand that. We tend to be more downward on our right side with our left shoulder up. We tend to be more in our back right hip with our right hip down, our left hip up. So we have this because we have 3 lobes of lung on our right and only 2 on our left. And our heart is on our left. Our liver is on our right. And so when we inhale, we tend to bias our body toward the right side because we have the 3 lobes of lung. So they're kind of act stronger. So we tend to have a more open left side, and these lungs work a little bit better than the right lungs. So we have to kind of put our body back into a symmetrical, like a position where we're not so biased toward one side. So that kind of stuff is called PRI, Postural Restorative Institute, if you want to learn more about that. But just breathing in general is going to be the best for posture, for sure.
Okay. So if I was at my desk and I had 5 to 10 minutes to do anything, let's say I did half of that of just breathing, just focusing on my breathing, what would you fill the other time with?
Getting that work done as quick as you could so you get off the chair.
Well, no, but what kind of stretching would you do? Like, what would you do if you could get up from your desk and do some stretching? What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, I might just...
If you only had to pick 2 or 3
I would just
stretches.
try to walk. I would just walk. I wouldn't stretch. I would walk. I don't think just stretching willy-nilly just for 5 or 10 minutes is really going to do anything. In between, like your desk job or whatever, I think walking is probably one of the best things. Or just like full range of motion squats or push-ups, honestly, because you're going to get stretch and strength doing that. One, you're really not ready to work out in between your desk job. I would just try to get your desk job done so that you can go work out and focus on your workout during your workout. I'm not really a
Yeah.
big fan of like stretch breaks or like, I would just say get up and walk, get up and get some water, just get off your
Hmm.
seat every 20 minutes. Don't really worry about stretching because usually, to try to teach someone that is like trying to teach someone, you know, you know how that is. You have to really, they have to watch a video. But I mean, I might just do some neck rolls. I might move my back around. I might just like do a figure four stretch, like cross my leg over. But those are all just kind of band aids. I wouldn't say they're actually doing anything. Any movement that you think is good is probably fine, but I wouldn't really recommend any routine. I think your mobility should just come with your training, whether that's a mobility day or you add it before your workout. But it definitely should be part of your routine. I
When do you
feel,
know you're ready?
hmm,
Like when do you know you're ready? Like after, like when do you feel like you're fully mobile? Is that the right term? Like when you're doing this mobility stuff before a workout, when do you say, okay, I'm good to start training now?
right after the power work. So like it's a very progressive, like it's foam roll. I want to assess the tissue quality. I want to feel every muscle. I want to feel my TFL. I want to feel my glute med. I want to feel my quad. I want to feel my adductors. I want to feel my, um, you name it. I'm gonna feel that muscle before I work out. I want to know the density,
Okay.
the resilience, the the pain threshold level of every single muscle before I start. Because when I take that assessment measure, that gives me so much knowledge and insight on how my body is doing for that day. That sets me up to better reps and sets in that exercise or that activity. Then I stretch all major muscles, hamstring, quad, whether it's a multi joint stretch that gets two or three things at one time, or I do one joint at a time if I have time. But regardless, I stretch statically every muscle for about 15 to 30 seconds. Then I do
Okay.
motor controller activation or stability exercises, basically FMS. So like a bird dog hold, maybe a plank or a bear crawl. Could be a push up hold. It could be a hip extension. It could be a floor slide, a wall slide, any type of like postural related corrective exercise. Then I do dynamic stretching like a split squat or a lateral squat or a push up or an inchworm or a toe touch a squat or a single leg reach. And then I do things like skipping, jumping, linear days on day one, and then I do lateral dynamic warm ups on day two. So like karaoke, side step scissors, ladder drills, linear and lateral ways. And then once
Hmm.
I've done all that, I'm ready to go. Like I feel like so good. That's when you do the power because your body, your nervous system's primed and ready to go. Now you're ready to freaking go 100% intensity, whether it's med ball throw, uh, dumbbell snatch, trap bar deadlift, or it could be uh, something like a box jump, hurdle jumps, where something explosive, springy, or maybe you're timing your speed drills like time 10s or 40-yard sprints. After that is when you do that. Now I'm ready to do my strength training because now I've done my CNS work, my ATP CP work. Now I'm going to focus on strength training, maybe 5 to 8 reps, 2 to 3 sets. And I usually triset lower body, upper body, core exercise, and I do 3 pods. And each pod
Hmm.
has 3 exercises. It goes lower body, upper body, core, lower body, upper body, core, lower body, upper body, core. And then if I have a fourth pod, that's when I'll do like my bodybuilding or my single joint exercises. And then
Okay.
after that, I have my conditioning, which is either going to be HIIT training or long, slow duration training. Let's just say I really want to focus on pull-ups that day. That'll be my first exercise. Really, if it's a push day, I'm going to focus on my dumbbell for my first exercise. That's after my power set. So I still have the approach of trying to build strength and hypertrophy, but since I'm doing it in trisets, I'm probably not getting as much hypertrophy as you would if you were to rest a little bit more in between sets. but that is also to condense the workout and to do more in one workout as opposed to do a 2 hour workout and get the same amount. So that's
A
kind of
lot of
how I.
metabolic work, sounds like.
Yeah, it's a little, but yeah, it's kind of like 45 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Like if you look at it that way, because yeah, I mean, if you're bodybuilding, you might do a set of bicep curls and then you're going to wait 30, 60 seconds. You're just not going to get as much done. If you're
Mhm.
if you're bodybuilding, or if you're bodybuilding, you're going to do bicep curls and then you're going to do tricep extensions and then you're going to do something else for the arms, right? You're not going to do
Mhm.
upper body, lower body, core. That's just you're going too many different things. You're going to focus on either upper or lower body. You're going to focus on single joint exercises for hypertrophy. That's just how bodybuilding is. For functional training, it's trying to get a good variety, unilateral exercises, upper body, lower body, core exercises, focus on anti-rotation, anti-lateral flexion, anti-extension exercises as opposed to sit-ups, crunches, and Russian twists. So it is a certified functional strength coach approach, and that's kind of what I got my certification in. And so that's kind of what I've been doing and preaching since I got certified in that. And that's led to my body just feeling just like really good to the point where like the only thing that's unsafe is the mobility training, the extreme mobility training. That's the only thing that I do that's actually unsafe. If I'm going to get injured, it's not going to be from
Wow.
that program. It's going to be from my mobility training. So,
All those crazy videos on Instagram of you doing all the dude. I don't know how your body even moves like that, but it's awesome.
yeah, I mean, I've always liked to move in different ways. I think I got that from yoga, and then I, got functional range conditioning certified, and my wife was Kinstretch certified, and I taught those FRC classes and mobility classes, and I like making up those different movement pathways just as a form of movement expression, just to show you, like, like this is kind of the strength and mobility I've accrued from functional training. You know, not the other way around. Like I don't do the mobility training to be better at mobility training. Like I'm good at mobility because I have a functional training approach, not because I do mobility snacks in between like my desk job. You know what I mean? Like I probably sit just as much
Okay.
as anybody, but I just make sure that the self myofascial release is is first and foremost in my workouts and trying to release those tense spots before I start my stretching. But yeah, man,
Huh. Well, I think the moral of all that is that movement is the cure.
for sure. Movement